Hi there. This is the PowerUp team here with our awesome, incredible mobile app that is sure to change the internet cafe gaming community. So we had a great team here, and here we have an overview of our application. On the left, you can see there are some very small example screens that allow you to get an idea of sort of what happens when you navigate between each bar. You can see our iconic logo there on the bottom, created by Jeff. Thank you very much. And this comprehensive application provides one with all the necessary tools for you to locate the nearest internet cafe, create an account that is associated with only you, have a wallet that tracks how many funds are available to use on the different machines within the cafe, a time feature that tracks the amount of time user has on a given machine, and we can visualize how many machines are available at a given cafe. So, as I stated before, this app provides the functionality necessary to provide users with the best possible internet and gaming cafe experience. And now I will pass it on to Cliff to give a demonstration of this.
Sure. Thank you, Nick. So I'm going to walk through the whole project. So like before we log in or register into the PowerUp app, we can only see this login page. So if we click register, it will bring us to the sign up page. Because I already got my account, so I'm just going to log in with my account. So the account should be a email phone. So after we log in, it will navigate us to the profile page. And for the profile page, we can sign out and also we can delete this account. We have our UID here. So this UID is from the Firebase. And this is also the UID that we store all those users' information, like users' orders and users' credits in our database. So in this store page, it will read the user's current location, like the user's coordinates. And in our demo backends, we have 3 cafes. So the 3 cafes will have their coordinates. And we implemented the backend logic, and it will return the 2 closest cafes based on the current user's location. So here, if we click this button, it will give us 2 cafes, which are the closest cafes to us. So if we click like Portland Cafe, it will give us the availabilities of the machines. Let's go back to check our backend. Like, let's go back to check the Portland cafes. So in the machines, so we can see 3 machines, PS4, PC4, and PS5. So just based on those objects, we can implement this store page. So after we check those machines availability, we want to activate it. Before doing that, we need to go back our wallet to check if we have like sufficient credits to activate the machine. So we implement the payment function. So we can like add $10 to the current user's account. So we need to type in the credit card information. And then it will be verified, and also the money will be added to the user's account. So it's 19 because we added $10 to this account. So after we have enough credits to activate the machine, we can go to start page. So in the start page, we have this scan and also type functions to use. So the scan button, we can use that to scan the QR code of the QR code, and we can read that QR code and get the machine ID to activate the corresponding machine. So we can use camera or choose from the photo library. However, sorry, wait a sec. However, since this backend logic is not finished, so actually at this point, we cannot show that. But we can still type in the ID of the machine to activate it. So after we click this activate button, it will give us the information of the machine's rate. So it will tell us that the rate of this machine is $3 per hour. After we click OK, it will give us the success information. So let's go back. Let's go to the time page. So now, because we just activated the machine, the PC1 machine, so it will create an order for us. We can deactivate. So based on the order, we can see the duration of this order and also the cost of this order. So let's take a look in our backend to see this PC1. So I believe this PC1 should be in the New York cafe. So let's go back to store page and go to New York cafe. Okay, just let's wait about 1 minute to see what will happen in this time page. Okay, we can see that after 1 minute, we now have like cost for $1. Let's deactivate it. Remember, like 1 minute ago, we have $19 in the user's credits, but now we only have 18, which means the user's credits is charged. Also, it's just for the presentation, we change the rate of the machine. So basically, it shouldn't be that expensive. So that's about the whole idea and the whole project. And I will pass this presentation to Nick again.
All right. Stellar. Thank you for that fantastic demonstration. There's a reason that he's known as the best demonstrator in the business. But anyway, now I can give a little more detailed information regarding the store page. You already saw an example of how it's used. So it's supposed to, the store page finds the user's current location. It will display that. And based off of that, it will display the two closest cafes based on your location, even though there are three. So that's a cool little feature there. So it will also display the machine's availability based on the selected cafe. So we were able to implement the location feature and, of course, filtering out the two closest ones. And it displays what machines are available based on the cafe. And we were able to implement all these features. Yay. But that was not without some challenges. At first, there was a problem having difficulty display the user location without the use of storyboard, but through the use of online resources such as videos, that was able to be alleviated. So getting more experience with Postman and JSON objects, that was also important, and it was definitely a little challenging at first to understand how the back end connected to the front end. So making sure that the selected cafe is connected to the appropriate machines. And yeah, that was my functionality. And now we will move on to the start page.
Okay, the start page. So the initial plan for this page is that we are going to read the user ID and get the user's credits. And we are going to scan the QR code via photos or by the camera or the album to get the machine ID. So, and also, or directly type machine ID to activate the machine. So in that sense, we are going to show the machine's rate and the success or failure information. So as what we presented for the whole project, we can see that actually the scanning QR code feature is not actually implemented. So our future goal is that we are going to implement the QR code recognition backend logic. So what I learned is that teamwork really matters. So we need to keep communicating for the update since we need to interact with the features that's developed by others. And also sometimes we will get some conflicts on the gate. So we need to communicate with each other to discuss like what features should be kept and what we need to update. And also designing a beautiful UI is not easy. Coding a beautiful UI can be harder. So I still get a long path to learn about the UI designing. Let's go to the next page.
Great. So I'll talk about the wallet functionality. So the goal for the wallet functionality, as you saw in the walkthrough, was to create a feature that provided a centralized hub for the users of the app to manage their monetary resources and also to empower the user to have real-time monitoring of their monetary balance. And also to connect this with the machine activation for the cafes. And so these two components need to talk to one another to make sure that the user has adequate funds to be able to activate a cafe. So the two core features of this functionality was, of course, to display the current real-time balance that's available in the user's wallet, and then to have a feature that allowed the user to add funds to their wallet through the use of credit card information. So the way we accomplished this and implemented this functionality was, of course, to create the UI components to display the balance, the UI components to add funds, which included a checkout screen and a payment screen, which you can see here in the example screen 2 that's provided. We also needed to, on the back end, specifically in the database, to keep track of the user credits within the user table. And so this would allow us to have that management of the credits that pertain to a specific user, and then to create the backend endpoints to get current user details information, and also to post user details information to update the credit card balance. For future goals for this project, it'd be great to build out this functionality and add more features, such as a customer sheet UI component that would allow the customer to manage safe payment methods. So they have a credit card that they always use, we'd like to save that. And of course, on the back end, we'd create the applicable endpoints to allow for that functionality. And then the other feature that would be great to fold into this would be to add different ways of payment. So right now, a user can pay via credit card, but it'd be great to have something like an Apple Pay or Google Pay feature that would allow for a fast and secure way for customers to pay with their saved cards. One challenge and then the core of learning for this particular feature was how to use the iOS SDK Stripe API. So this component was built with the Stripe API. Specifically, we made use of the UI components that's associated with the Stripe API, as well as the basic foundations. This was a bit challenging since there was a learning curve to understand how all the different features work, but it did allow us to make use of some pretty powerful API features of this Stripe API. So we'll go to the next slide. Talk about the time page. And so for this particular feature, this was to allow the user to keep track of the machine that they currently have activated. It's based on the order. So an order is tied to the machine that they activate. When the user clicks the button to deactivate, a request is sent to the backend to ensure that the machine is no longer activated by the user. And then there's a checkout component that comes as a result of that, which, as we saw earlier, would decrement whatever the cost is from the user's wallet. A future goal of this project would be to deploy this project online so that it's actually in production and in use, and perhaps even included on the Apple Store. So this would be a great next step to allow for the usability of this project. Some of the learning that came through this particular functionality was learning how to collaborate and work with others. As mentioned earlier, this time page was tied with the wallet. And so there was some conflicts and also some conversations and planning and design that had to go into making sure that these two components worked as expected. And of course, that also involved reviewing other people's code, which is a great way to learn how to do something differently by seeing how other people code and their style. So that wraps up this component, and we'll talk about the next functionality.
All right, next one. Let me show you with the profile part. So first, our initial plan was to create a comprehensive and secure user experience. My focus was on the several core functionalities. First, of course, the login and logout and the register features, implementing a robust authentication system using Firebase. So this ensures secure logins and streamlined user registration. So regarding the login feature, we integrated functionalities for user signings, including input validation, error handling, and seamless navigation post-login to the user's profile. Like for new users, we of course have the register, to the account creation process, ensuring secure and reliable account setup. Additionally, we integrated the keychain service for securely storing user tokens. This is crucial for maintaining user data security, ensuring sensitive information. So what we learned, so what we didn't implement and why. So however, we couldn't implement the forget password feature due to the time constraints. Also focus on these critical features first. So the technical complexity of securely resetting passwords while ensuring user data integrity also influence this decision. So about future goals, looking ahead, our goal is to add the forget password feature, of course, for convenient user account management. So what we learned and difficulties throughout the project, learn about implementing keychain service for data security, and also utilizing Firebase for authentication, enriching the technical expertise. Also, the challenge was in the user service, particularly in managing JSON file data and the backend communication, which offer a valuable learning experience. So let's move to the next part.
So I'll talk about overall reflections for this project. So one of the key things that we learned, as well as we found challenging for this project, was working collaboratively on a complex mobile app project that included many different moving parts, many different features. And so this boiled down to managing version control across the team. And so this involved careful planning and design, as well as learning how to resolve merge conflicts and also managing the different packages that we used in this project and making sure that our environment for being able to develop this project was successful. And one of the ways that we were able to accomplish this was to break down the project into smaller pieces and also have constant communication and ongoing conversation about how the project's development. And one of the other important aspects of this project was the importance of setting goals. Since this is a large semester-long project, we wanted to be very clear and intentional about what we wanted to accomplish within the time constraints. And in order to be able to implement this project, we also needed to make sure that we were staying on track of the different benchmarks week by week. So lastly, we want to say thank you to Professor Mayazi and the TAs for a great semester and for the opportunity to work on this project. And that wraps up our final project.